What's up? It's Chanel.
Hey, it's Steven.
In case you didn't know, we're back.
We're back. How are you
You're
doing?
so psyched.
Happy Friday the 13th.
Ooh, it's Friday the 13th. That's so exciting.
So scary.
It's ridiculous that I'm giddy for that because Taylor Swift loves Friday the 13th.
Oh my God.
So I think there's going to be an announcement.
There's going to be an announcement?
I don't know. She's doing her re-records and I'm like hoping we get like a
so
sneak.
crazy. She's so crazy.
She's nuts. I love her. Love this bitch. Wait, what were we had specific instructions. What were we gonna talk about? I forgot. Should we dive right into this movie and why I didn't see it?
Well, so we're like a dog with a bone. Life. And that bone is Jennifer Lopez. And we
love her.
We love Jennifer Lopez. We love her. And hey Jennifer, if you're listening. But
we love you.
We love
so
you
much.
But this week we're doing one of my favorite movies and now one of Chanel's favorite movies.
New fave.
Second Act.
Second Act.
Which Chanel has never seen before.
Nope.
I saw it in the movie theaters. You're welcome, Jennifer.
I wish I did.
But Chanel did not see it in the movie theaters. And not only that, she chose not to see it in the movie theaters.
I don't know what was going on in my life in 2018, but I had a friend ask me. Something dark, honestly. A friend of ours too is obsessed with Jennifer Lopez. Like, we'll see everything she's in. And he's like, we should go see Second Act. And I was like, you know when you say yes with no intention of going?
Yeah.
And I was like, he's not going to check up on this. So I was like, yeah. And then I just didn't go with him.
Well, don't you feel like a fool now?
I feel like a dummy.
A dummy. I mean, to see this movie in the theater and kind of experience the highs, the lows, the twists, the turns with a group of fans, fanatic fans, it was an experience.
I'm really jealous because I had an experience just alone with this movie. I was gasping out loud, freaking out, laughing out loud, just like truly would have loved to be in a theater or at least with friends.
Yeah. And I mean, like, women should support other women. So there's another problem there, but
wow. Call out number 2 of the morning.
I've had a pretty busy morning.
We always start with your Peloton ride, so let's hear it. What the fuck did you do?
I was going to say that if you haven't heard,
I
have a Peloton. Which
Steven has a Peloton.
Not sponsored, had to pay the retail price. And this morning, I just wanted to push myself. So I did a 75 minute endurance ride. I thought I was going to die.
During like a massive heat wave.
During the heat wave.
Sweating out your fucking body weight.
In a room with
Are you hydrated?
In a room with no air conditioning.
Oh my God. I do need to check in on you because you have like a tendency to underhydrate.
Oh, yeah, and overexert. But it was...
Overexert, underhydrate, overcaffeinate.
Yeah, all of those.
Deadly combination.
That's my diet book that's coming out next fall.
It's a good diet book. I like that.
Overexert, underhydrate, overcaffeinate.
Wait, write that down.
Yeah, those are my diet tips.
Also, it's
if anyone's listening, but
do not listen to Steven for diet tips. Like, this is disclaimer number 1. This is one of 1 million that I will make. Do not.
Yeah,
if he gives any diet.
Yeah.
Well, no. He has one diet tip that we're gonna drop right now.
Which is what?
Do you want to talk about your Fiber One brownie?
Oh, yes. Fiber One, again, not a sponsor, but we welcome you in at any moment.
Love Fiber
One makes a brownie that is 70 calories. And Chanel and we've torn our way through the dietary aisle of most supermarkets. And
done it all.
All of the other brands, those like bars or brownie lookalikes, it is like chewing on cardboard.
Yeah.
These Fiber One brownies are delicious.
Chef's kiss.
And they actually have like a good texture to them. I was just munching on one before we got started.
He was. I called him out, I was very delighted to see what he was eating. They're good. They're like cakey, and they have chips in them.
They
like
they
actual
have
crunchy
chips,
chocolate
and they have
chips.
a little drizzle of something on top.
Yeah, just the tiniest little, like just a little drizzle. Like you could actually probably put a little more drizzle, but
I would.
Let's not
I
get
would be willing to
crazy.
bump up to 80 calories if it had a little bit more drizzle. I'd be willing to make that bargain with the devil, if you will. But
5 more chips, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, bump it up 50 calories. Give me 5 more chips and a little more drizzle, and I'm in.
Right.
There must be some psychology behind 70 calories. I think the human brain must round it down instead of rounding it up to 100. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because those like 100-calorie snack packs are such a joke. Like 100 calories of goldfish. Like, what am I gonna do with that? I don't want that.
I have so flip-flopped. Like in high school, I'd be like, I am so healthy eating this 100-calorie pack. It is so good for you. Now I just realize it was just a calorie-controlled portion of sugar.
Right.
Which we could have been doing all along.
Right.
Like I could have just had 2 real Oreos instead of the 100-calorie pack of Oreos.
Exactly.
So it really is a gimmick.
It's also why I really don't dabble in the dark world of salads, because you go to like Just Salad,
Cheesecake Factory
or
has
Sweet
like a
Green
800-calorie salad.
You could eat a pizza for the amount of calories in some of these salads. Like I walk by people there's a Sweet Green a couple blocks away from me. I mean, you'd think they're giving away these salads, and they are.
The line's pretty insane
like
in New York.
900-calorie salads. I would rather go to Five Guys across the street and get a burger and fries for the same amount of calories.
Agree. Yeah, it took me a long time to come around to that. It took me, like the better part of this last decade to get there. Yeah, I know. But, yeah, like a Caesar. It's a joke.
It's a joke. It's a real joke. I don't even like salad anyway. It does nothing for me.
Well, I've kind of like moved it off of my like daily necessity list, which is nice. It's really freeing. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I used to I was like, nope, if I didn't get a salad today, my celebrity trainer, Shalene Johnson, will hate me. I love her so much.
I know you do.
Yeah. Well, we're not here to talk about Shalene.
No.
We're not here to talk about Fiber One, which is great. We are here to talk about, I almost said Last Act again.
It's just the second act.
It's this movie called Second Act with Jennifer Lopez from 2018, I believe.
This movie. Oh, God.
So when I went into my Fire TV, I literally hit the mic and I went, Last Act? And it brought me to Second Act.
The TV knew what you wanted.
And then again, I Googled Last Act, J-Lo. I Googled Last Act and I got this documentary.
Yeah.
And I was like, this isn't it. And I was like, Last Act? That's a really morbid title for a J-Lo movie where she's just approaching 40. I was like, wow.
She's turning 42 or 43.
Yeah. I didn't clock her age at all in this. Did they say that? How did you know that?
I think they said it once.
Oh. Because I only remember a slight mention of something. What? They don't. Yeah, something about like how she can't have what she wants.
They don't list her height.
They don't list her height. Sorry, I'm apologizing again. They say she says something about 40. She's like, oh,
she's in her 40s.
She's in her 40s, but I thought it might be her 40th birthday that she celebrates in this. But was it 42, 43?
I think it's in the summary. So if you just
Chanel,
stop.
Stop.
Want to check the resource material
Do you
that you
check
have.
The notes that I painstakingly crafted 2 minutes before we logged on.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I didn't see this in theaters. I was mistakenly calling it Last Act, but today's movie is Second Act, and I think let's dive right in. I'll do the summary, and then we will get cooking. Okay, chill out. Value shop assistant Maya Vargas wants only one thing for her 43rd birthday, a promotion. While her resume may not scream upper management, her track record certainly does. Vargas is an innovator who listens to her customers and delivers results. When she loses the job to a college-educated candidate, Maya sets out to prove to Madison Avenue that street smarts are as valuable as book smarts, and it's never too late for a second act.
If I could sing Limitless, I would sing it right now.
Yeah, you love that one.
You're
a fan.
Oh, I love that song.
I want to compliment you on this summary. It's one of your best. Very tight.
Yeah.
Kind of rolls off the tongue easy. My second, really quick aside, did you come to J-Lo as a singer first or as an actor first? Because you mentioned Limitless. Singer? Okay, that's interesting.
I think growing up, I just like I couldn't get into all of her movies, but I did love the music.
Not for you.
I love the music.
I'm trying to think. Like, I think I saw her first as Maid in Manhattan. So I think she was like an actress for me, which is interesting. That's really interesting. Beyonce was an actress for me too, which is fucked up.
That's a different story.
I was like, yeah, Beyonce from Goldmember. That's a problem. And everyone was like, Destiny's Child. I was like, huh? Whose child? What's that?
You mean that actress?
Yeah, you mean the really amazing actress, Foxy Cleopatra from Goldmember.
Yeah, I love that because there's so many ways into Jennifer.
There are. So there's a Jennifer for all ages. I loved her songs. You know, after Maid in Manhattan, I loved All I Have with LL Cool J. I was obsessed. And I just appreciate the shit out of her now as both, but definitely an actress. I'm loving this study.
Yes, this has been an unintentional yet carefully planned survey of Jennifer Lopez's work.
Yeah, a little sample size, little ditty.
And I would say that this movie, out of the triptych that we've taken a look at, I think this is my favorite Jennifer Lopez performance.
Oh, it is so good.
She's magnetic.
I made a real note that I can see the direct link to Hustlers, like straight from this.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, this is truly her life's work, just culminating in a perfect way. And then, I mean, we love Hustlers. No.
Yeah.
Nothing bad to say about Hustlers.
Nothing bad to say about Hustlers. And some of you might be wondering why we're not doing Hustlers. And it's just that Hustlers is so good and everybody knows it. And we would just be spending 2 hours telling you to fast forward through Constance Wu's scenes. And that's not very nice. It's not nice. And we're nice. And
yeah, if there's anything we are, it's kind, nice, supportive.
Yeah, so
respectful. So like, we're not going to do that.
Yeah.
We made a real conscious decision not to do Hustlers. It's just too good.
It's too good.
Go watch it if you haven't. It's mind-blowing.
And everybody knows that Hustlers is good. I think that some people might not know how
that last
excellent
act is good.
Yeah, last act. Well, okay, speaking of the title, Second Act.
Second Act.
Now, this is one of those fun titles, and I think for you J-Lo nuts, it's going to make even more sense because Second Act, okay, the movie is about her second act, and we'll get to that, right? Her second career, if you will. But I think it also is a reference to what happens in the second act of every J-Lo film, which is usually that she has some sort of work issue. It comes up time and time again. J-Lo is really, really interested in what civilians do at work. She loves to explore what people do at work. And
yeah, that's my favorite part about her.
Yeah, she loves work. So this really continues that trajectory of
100%
exploring what does it mean to be a worker.
Yeah, and in typical J-Lo movie fashion, there's a lie that she has to atone for, that she has to come out with, that she has to reveal.
A lie that she gets herself into every time.
Every damn time.
Every time.
Every fucking time.
It's not a lie that she stumbles into. It's always a lie that she
makes a deal
for.
To continue with.
She loves a lie and she's very good at it.
I love the theme in all J-Lo flicks to the point where I think we can see some obvious misstep in Monster-in-Law for what her like vein of gold is as a performer, because Monster-in-Law like severely lacked this like it had that undercurrent of the working girl, but it wasn't like J-Lo as our, we didn't see her like.
It was it was way too goofy for
Yeah,
J-Lo.
too goofy.
And to quote your kind of Friday the 13th fan, Taylor Swift, she should have said no.
Should have said no. Should have gone home.
She should have said no to Monster-in-Law, only because I still want that movie, but I don't think it was for her.
Agree. Yeah, that's nice. That feels
It should have been
good.
someone else.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, thank God we have it.
Thank God she did it.
Thank God we have it.
Thank God.
Because I'm not ready for a world without that movie and that performance. Okay. So second act
takes place shockingly in New York.
Shockingly. Again, J-Lo is best in New York. I don't want to see her in California.
Ugh,
she is
doesn't
a
know what to do there.
New Yorker. She does know what to do. She's out of place. She doesn't belong there. And we see like the sights and sounds of Queens, which I love for her.
She's in a new neighborhood.
Mm-hmm. I love Queens for her.
She's still at home.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. It's like uptown New York. Come on. And we see the sights and sounds of Queens. She's a runner.
Oh yeah.
So really nice to see her working for that body. Like it didn't just come naturally. She's running.
That's right. You have to earn your body, which was a theme
of the
movie.
It communicates to like the lay person, no, this isn't natural. I work for it.
Yeah.
Which I'm happy to see.
Right.
And yeah, we get the sights and sounds. We get Queens Boulevard. And then
You're a Queens
Yes,
resident.
It was so nice to see. It was really so nice to see.
Was a Queens resident.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
For those of you who care, I lived in Astoria for 3 years. It was quite lovely.
Mm-hmm.
And she just looks so at home. She looks so at home.
Right.
While being a magnetic movie star with perfect skin, hair, nails, outfits.
She looks
but it's just
stunning in this.
She's so beautiful in this. Oh my God. She just gets better with age too. I love a 40-something, 50-something J-Lo. 52, 5'2", what'd it do?
You know what I'm just thinking? She's 52. In the movie, the plot is that she's turning 43.
She's literally a decade. She's playing a decade below.
She's playing younger.
Good for her.
But it's really
shit.
It's kind of funny to think about though, because she produced the movie, so you know.
She gave it to herself.
No. She's gonna be turning 43.
They're like, oh, and it's a woman in her second act of life turning 50 over the hill. And she's like, no.
Yeah, she
40.
got out her producer Sharpie and she put a big old X through that.
JLo's like, the public isn't going to buy this. We have to go lower.
She doesn't look 50.
No, she doesn't.
So actually,
look 50.
good on her,
so
because it would have been confusing if she was 50.
I know. She's really taking care of us. She's like, they won't get it if I say 50.
Right.
But they'll get it now.
Right.
Yeah, I appreciated it. It was a wonder. It's kind of like how I cast myself as teens in all my acting classes. My choice. And with the really good lighting and the 720 resolution of a webcam, everyone's like, are you 18? And I'm like,
no,
yes.
I'm 16.
Younger.
Yeah.
I just celebrated my sweet 16 last week. Sorry you weren't invited.
But we know it's her birthday because her boyfriend
comes
into the bathroom with a grilled cheese, right?
That we know she doesn't eat.
She
for
doesn't
that
eat.
body.
There's no way she's eating that grilled cheese with a candle in it, and interrupts her shower.
You're not supposed to buy your own birthday breakfast.
It was from minute one of when he opened his mouth. I said, I don't want these two together.
I don't like him. When I was younger and he was in Heroes, I was obsessed with Milo.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, what is this voice that you're putting on? It's like he's like pitching it low, kind of.
Yeah, he was doing this confusing, suave performance, and then he brought the grilled cheese into the shower, which was just going to get real soggy real fast.
Weird.
I just didn't.
Yeah. I wanted to see a solo J-Lo shower. Just show me her in silhouette like we did on the other side of the curtain. Just show me her face.
Because as we'll go on with the movie, like, and in a lot of other movies we've done, specifically the J-Lo movies, her relationship to the man is certainly a central like plot point of the movie. Mm-hmm. And in this one, they really didn't need it. Like the whole movie would have functioned with her
without
as
him.
a single person.
I know. I mean, they thought, this is kind of where I feel like the screenplay doubted its audience's intelligence, because they were like, they're not going to get it if we don't have a man saying, but I want kids with you. They're not going to understand that she gave, spoiler. I don't want to actually say the spoiler yet.
We're not there yet.
Yeah, I don't want to say it. But like, they thought we wouldn't get it without him pushing a family.
Yeah.
And it's like, I think a single woman already can put that pressure on herself.
But remember,
we don't need
J-Lo, once she gets her second act job, she says the consumers are getting smarter. That's us.
Yeah.
We knew we didn't need him. I just wish she would have listened to herself.
Should have listened to her own advice, producer J-Lo.
But luckily he really, like, you could sleep on him and it doesn't impact the movie at all.
True.
Which is beautiful.
I can't be that upset at the Milo edition, but he is just an odd duck.
I just wish that instead of Milo, all the time that we had with him, I just wanted more Leah Remini.
Oh my goodness, is she so good in this?
In the same way that Melissa McCarthy got an Oscar nomination for Best Supporting for Bridesmaids. Leah Remini needed an Oscar nom for Best Supporting for Second Act.
She kills it in this role.
So natural. I wish that I could have an ounce of her, like, natural confidence.
She is so natural. Oh, my throat just did that.
I was like, please tell me I'm not hearing that. And by the way, like, love Leah. I've been a big Scientology, like, nuthead, watching all of her documentary series. Have you seen
her Escape? Yes, I have. She's so likable. She's so credible. She's like the every woman. She's the working woman.
And they're real friends.
Yeah. Oh, wait. They are real friends in real life?
Yeah, they're like real life best friends.
Oh, thank God it worked. That's why it works so well.
Yeah. But sometimes I feel like when you cast, or when, like, they are real life best friends in a movie, it doesn't always translate because...
Yeah. I agree. I think Leah's doing more work.
That's what
She's
I'm saying.
doing more
Like,
of the heavy
I was
lifting.
impressed with how well it was on the screen.
I don't think J-Lo has the natural instincts to go where Leah goes.
Oh, no.
J-Lo doesn't have those. I think J-Lo is very polished and trained, maybe. Like, I'm sure she gets an acting coach. But I think Leah Remini just understands, like, map my natural tendencies onto this character. Leah is so good. I was calling her Lisa Remini.
Yeah, Lisa Remini has, like, a lot of boots on the ground experience with King of Queens.
With what Queens?
King of Queens, that TV show.
No, yes, exactly. I was going to say, which I feel bad about, but it's the nature of Hollywood, Leah Remini would have a career like J-Lo if she was like the quintessential, like, body type prototype as J-Lo, I think. But I love Leah Remini's career. It is so, it's what I would want.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
that was a downer.
Yeah. Sorry, Lisa. But
she's so good, and
they work together at, what is it, Value Plus?
Yeah, I wrote it down. Value Stop 101, Ozone Park.
Oh, right.
Baby.
They work together at the local Value Stop 101 branch in Ozone Park, which is the nicest bulk store I've ever seen.
Yeah, I'm like, does this exist?
Beautiful.
Yeah, so when JLo's leaving her house, Milo says 15 years of experience should be worth 10 degrees, which is like cluing us in that not only does Jennifer Lopez's character Maya not have a college degree, she just has a GED, and she's like showing up to Value Stop 101, Ozone Park, to get some sort of promotion.
It was unclear. She like has a meeting that may or may not result in a promotion.
Yeah, I found this to be a little confusing. Like, do you have a meeting for promotion or not?
Yeah, because the one word that I was expecting to hear was interview. But what they kept saying was like, today's your big presentation. Today's your big presentation. And she seemed to interpret that as, I'm getting a promotion today.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think it was a big old misunderstanding on her part.
Right. I don't think she had the right counsel or guidance from her peers to let her know that, no, they're just coming to tour the store. They're not here to promote you.
Yeah, I just wrote, did she assume she'd get this promotion based on a rumor? Like, maybe?
Now, 15 years working as the assistant manager or or in various positions. Maybe she was at the deli counter or something. But she's been 15 years at the Value Stop Plus 101. I wonder what she did before, because
I know I found myself filling in the timeline a little
not
too.
To be like, you're old, but like, what other careers did she have? I'm curious.
Yeah. Well, let's hope dog walker was one of them.
Little League coach.
Milo is a
dog's
coach.
name. Oh. Oh yeah, he is a dog.
It's also a dog's name. Okay, who is he in this movie? Trey. I mean, I don't want to spend any time on him, but worth mentioning, he works for our old alma mater.
He does work for our alma mater, which seemed very like
weird,
forced in, only because they live in Queens. Fordham is in the Bronx. Now, depending on where they live in Queens, that could be a 3-hour commute.
It's a long time.
And for it, the one thing that I wrote down, and this is probably really specific to me, but how much of my tuition went for this product placement? Because the amount of like Fordham banner work and like Fordham logo was a lot. I mean,
I think this movie was made for Fordham graduates.
It was just
added layer.
Okay, Fordham, yes, is a college in New York City, but like, and I feel like we can say this as Fordham graduates,
as Rams.
It's not like the quintessential New York City school.
No, not even close.
And to say, okay, and it's not even a big sports school, but if anything that they're known for, it's traditionally basketball. Like, if anything. So to choose Fordham is weird, and then to choose baseball is strange.
Do they know how to play baseball at Fordham?
Never. I mean, it was bizarre to me.
I didn't go to a game, not one game.
Never.
In all my time there.
Not any games, but I would love to know the backstory on how they settled on Fordham.
The premier Jesuit school of New York.
What I can only hope and pray is that they allowed them to film there for free, that was why it happened. That's the only situation that I will allow as an alumni.
Also, the amount of detail in the scene was that you could have put it literally anywhere.
Well, that was the other thing. It could have been a nameless university.
Yeah, or it could have been in a gym. And just watch him overseeing some guys.
He could have been a
PE batting teacher. Cages. Yes, he could have been a gym teacher. That's the amount of detail that went into that scene. It didn't need anything.
And not for nothing, like, he wasn't even the coach. He was the
he was the assistant
coach.
I was like, dump him. He has no motivation.
Yeah, they're both assistants. We're learning. Assistant managers, essentially.
Yeah. I have something to say about her birthday. So can we...
With the birthday party?
Her birthday party.
Well, before we get to the birthday party, we just have to say that they are sort of implying that Jennifer Lopez invented Instacart, because at the at the tour of the facility, spoiler alert, she doesn't get the managership because, much like the title of tour implies, they weren't there to give her a job. They were just there to tour the store.
And she is heartbroken.
And she shows off that she invented Instacart. She doesn't get the job because she doesn't have a college degree.
Yeah.
And that is that scene.
It's wild. It's another one of those movie tropey things where it's like, we're going to tell you what you need to know.
Yeah. And it's very much just like street smarts are good, book smarts are bad.
Yeah, that's like the message of the film.
Which is funny because her boyfriend works at a college.
He works for academia.
Yeah, he's in the ivory tower.
A lot of contradicting messaging here. Yeah, they're just really trying to smack you over the head with like, you can't get anywhere without a college degree, which is true. It's very true, which sucks.
Sure.
But according to Milo, 15 years of experience should equal 10 degrees. Can you imagine if that's how degrees work? I have 7 degrees in production.
Yeah. It's
7 whole years.
And listen, there are certainly real life experiences add up to a lot, but I just wish that somebody would have told her this ahead of time.
Before the big meeting.
Yeah, before the big...
Don't get your hopes up. They were just making it sound like she had control over the outcome of this meeting. Like she would either give a good or a bad interview, and then that would directly result in her getting it or not. And it was like, it wasn't even an interview.
Yeah, because like the scene that we didn't have her sitting down in a boardroom, like Apprentice style, with her and another candidate, and like them being like, I've narrowed it down to 2. It was sort of just like, what? You were never up for a job.
I know. I actually probably wanted a really nice heart-to-heart scene with her and Leah Remini where she was like, maybe like, I'm so stupid for thinking that meeting was going to result in a job. That kind of could have been nice.
They all seemed a little clueless.
They all were like, what? You didn't get it? You're so qualified.
Go talk to him now. Maybe he'll give it to you.
Go back in there. Wear a different outfit.
Yeah.
It's too good. Yeah, okay, so I'm glad that, we actually were missing a bunch in the store. So she doesn't get it. Spoiler.
Yeah.
And so
very
on the walk... Very
anti-big grocery messaging.
Anti-big grocery. That's good.
Go ahead.
So I'll just connect the dots. So on the walk home, Leah Remini and her... it's the best friend work I've ever seen.
Out of all the movies we've watched so far, this is my favorite best friend.
Yeah, she's too good, and I love when Leah Remini spoils that she's about to get a surprise birthday.
Oh, so fun.
And she goes, act surprised, don't be selfish.
Oh. Yes.
It's too good.
I wrote down because she then goes on to say no one likes a selfish girl.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, this is level 10 manipulation, and I'm here for it.
Her delivery of that line.
It was perfect. She spoils the surprise and then goes, act surprised, don't be selfish. Yeah. So good.
Just something I feel like the ease with which it rolled off her tongue led me to believe that she has said this to Jennifer Lopez before in real life.
Yes. And then there's another point later in the night. We'll kind of fast forward through the party, but later in the night, they bring her like that lone candle, and Leah Remini's son, Dilly, or whatever the fuck his name is.
He was the most disturbing character in the movie.
So weird.
He has the hots for J-Lo, clearly.
Brings her a lone candle at the end of her birthday, and Leah Remini does some more great improv, which I'm 100% assuming it's improv, and she's like, come on, blow out the candle. We all know you know how to blow. She goes, word on the street is you're real good at it. Come on, we don't have all day. And she has her blow out the candle. And it's impeccable.
Before she blows out the candle, though, she's like, make a wish.
Oh, yeah. I jumped the gun because I was too excited to say Leah's part. But yeah, this is like the hook of the movie.
This is the most cringe line of the movie.
I know.
Is when J-Lo's like, I just wish that in this world... She delivered it with the same cadence that she did at the end of Monster-in-Law, where she was like, no, you will come to every clarinet recital. It's her big drama delivery that she does.
I know. This is why Hustlers was so good, because they didn't give her any really horribly cheesy shit to say. They gave her like the lines of a real woman.
Yeah.
So
they could have showed and not told us in this scene by just having her blow out the candles and letting us. We all knew what she was going to wish for.
Yes.
But I did think to myself, this would have been fun if we were to believe that there was some sort of magic involved.
Yeah, and like 13 going on 30 dust.
All of a sudden, the world changed, and book smarts.
She wakes up in an Amy Schumer movie.
Street smarts are everything.
Oh my! Oh no, that's such a crazy premise.
The whole world is changed upside down.
The next day, she gets like held up on the street corner.
Now, there was a weird line that at the birthday party, and I know we're kind of like zigzagging all through the party.
Yeah, we're gonna zigzag through the birthday because I do have to double back.
But Milo, whatever, after J-Lo reveals that she didn't get the promotion, which is a shock to no one except everyone at the party. Trey says a line that
story of
I still don't understand.
We're going to talk about the same thing. I'm ready.
He says, and I want to make sure I have this right.
Get it right.
He says, and he delivers this line with a very serious tone, which made me feel uncomfortable. He said, "It ain't over till it's over." And I thought, is that a threat?
I feel like that was his like baseball shit coming through, but it was like, this isn't a game.
It's not a game.
This is life.
He was.
Do you think this is a game?
Do you think this is a game, Trey? I was like, ooh, wouldn't want to be that manager with Trey swinging those bats around.
You changed my life like last summer. Yeah. When I was like working for a family and they weren't getting back to me quick enough, and you should ask them, do you think this is a game? I had to mention it here because I definitely want people to take that.
It's a really,
like when people aren't treating
a great
things
line to use because it really just like ramps up the drama to like a new level. Do you think this is a game?
It's like, this is my life. This isn't a game. I'm waiting around all day for your fucking text message. Like, do you think this is a game? I'm on the clock.
Yeah, so that's
okay. Yeah,
that does make sense now. The more that I think about it, because they do. Yeah, it was like a baseball thing. It's a game. Everyone
they do.
thinks it's a game.
Yeah. So he gets up and tells the story of their first meeting, and it was so not even in the realm of possibility for J-Lo's character.
What was it?
He was like, I only caught it on the second time through. He like talks about how he met her, and he was at a game, and some bum call gets made, and this woman unleashes on the ump. And I turn around, and it's this beautiful woman. And the camera pans, and it's Jennifer Lopez. And I'm like, no, she didn't.
No, I don't see that for her character.
I don't see that. So I was going to say, do you believe J-Lo yelled at an umpire at a Fordham game? No.
Why would she be there?
Who is she supporting?
She hates colleges.
Clearly.
If anything, she was probably protesting.
Yeah, so I thought that was a really funny weirdo story. But okay, and then one insanely Remini moment. She leans into the counter and unbuttons her jeans. Did you catch that?
No.
Oh my goodness, I'm so sad.
Why did she do that?
So Leah Remini, as the best friend, we've already said like she's just like pulling from her like real life, and she leans in to have a discussion with J-Lo in the kitchen after the party, and just impulsively unbuttons her top button because she's full or whatever. But I just thought it again is impeccable instinct from Leah Remini.
Wow.
I'm sad you didn't see it because it had the same like it had the same grab for me as J-Lo putting the coins in the machine in the bus in Made in Manhattan.
Wow.
So go back.
I'm gonna have to go back then.
Friends and fam, and catch Leah Remini just quickly unbuttoning the top button of her jean.
Wow.
Because she's like uncomfortable. Okay, so she makes that wish upon a candle.
And that creepy son is paying attention.
Dilly is like taking notes. So she goes to work the next day and finds out she's an interview for F&C.
Right.
And they're like the company that makes like most of the stores like skincare, hair care products and such.
Right. They're like a Procter and Gamble.
Yeah, a PNC. And like every J-Lo film ever, there's a best friend who's going to slide her name under the door when she won't do it herself.
Right.
Right?
We saw this before.
It's a real thing.
The maid to manager pipeline is here.
Maid to manager pipeline, same vibes.
Same vibes.
So J-Lo's like, what? I have an interview with F&C? I didn't apply.
See, they do treat like promotions like a game.
It's a game.
It's a game. If you don't...
I love this for this.
Yeah.
It's a game.
It's funny though because, okay, if we go back to this idea of, okay, if this is like her final work about, or like her exploration of being a career person, it's like what she's arrived at is that going to work is a game. Fun game. That's what people do all day.
Every A-list actor sort of comes across.
Yeah.
It's you don't really know. It's a game. We're gonna play doctor today.
A little bit.
So today she's gonna play, I don't know, merchandising expert. for F&C.
But she goes to an interview at F&C.
A real interview.
A
scheduled one.
For a position that she doesn't know what it is.
Nope. No research.
But seems very confident.
Super confident. Because she looks good, let's be honest. She looks fucking good.
She looks good, but that dress was pretty terrible.
It was
that colorful,
very rainbow.
Rainbow triangle dress.
Yeah, not my fave. Also, her hair in this looked a little fried. Just a little color processed and a little too much heat on it.
I think they needed to make her look a little unprofessional just so that when she does start dressing for work,
it makes
sense. It just didn't look like anything that the character we've come to know and love for 25 minutes would have worn.
Yeah, I think the price point of some of those pieces is a little too high, knowing what we know.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. It could have been like Ann Taylor and then turned designer. Loft. But it just seemed like the price points of all of the outfits in this were just like Dolce & Gabbana high.
Yeah, it just, I don't know. This outfit just didn't do it for me, but...
It's like a rainbow swirly number.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she goes to this interview
she's 43.
And...
Okay.
What?
She's 43. It just didn't,
Oh, she's 43.
Mature.
I still maintain they did not say her age one time in this movie. So we don't know. But that's a fight for later. Maybe you'll have to apologize next week. Oh, I hope.
Oh my God, you have to apologize.
No, I don't. What? No, you're apologizing next week.
You messed up last week.
Shut up. And in what?
Miss Rhode Island was not her... It was not the new lady.
Are you kidding me? No, I looked it up.
It was her friend.
What?
Okay, continue. We'll tell
you
do it later.
You just blew my mind because I IMDb'd that right before, and she was in Miss Congeniality with Sandra.
But okay, go
But
ahead.
it wasn't Rhode Island. It was the other friend.
No, it was Miss Rhode Island. But you were saying that it was the new lady that worked in the office, but it was actually her friend.
Oh.
Doesn't matter.
Really?
Go ahead.
Oh, Meryl, the friend, is Miss Rhode Island.
Yeah. Not June.
All right. Well, that would explain your shock.
Okay, continue.
Yeah, so she's like here for this interview and like comes to find out that Dilly has like created this whole fake thing for her. She has a fake Facebook page where she has like pictures with the Obamas and like hiked Kilimanjaro.
Oh my God,
and, like, did this crazy
the
shit.
caption on the Kilimanjaro one.
What was it?
Says Kilimanjaro was a fun climb.
Dilly, do better.
It was so funny.
That was like, did they need to go that far with this fake identity?
I think that is like the
wild.
Like shows you an out of touch look at the hiring process, which is like if you Google things to consider when you're looking for a job, the number one thing is always like check your Facebook, see what people can see. And it's like,
have you ever had your Facebook brought to the table in an interview?
Right.
Like, no.
And it was like it felt like they were going off of like 5 things you should look for in an interview type things.
Yeah, I mean, it just felt like a lot of exposition to me. They're like, yep, he made up a fake couple accounts and we're going to find out. They always like go for the funny. They go for like the ha-ha, like physical comedy bit. They're like, it's funnier if she finds out in the interview than if she finds out later. Yeah. So they were like, let's push this. Like, let's really push this agenda.
Yeah.
So they're pushing it. And then this is our first glimpse of Vanessa Ann Hutchins, which, a lot of stank energy right up top.
Stank.
Mean
lady.
And she's putting on a voice like this. She's like pitching it lower. I didn't understand a lot of the voices in this.
She was
like,
doing like business lady voice. Special. It was Hi. She's like, what are you talking about?
And then he's like, what do you think, Zoe? And she's like, I think we're done here.
She was pretty rude.
I think Vanessa also had an acting coach for this, and they might have steered her wrong.
I think that if she would have just done her normal voice, it would have been better. Fine.
Yeah. So I just like sensed something up immediately. I was like, ooh, 2 strong, beautiful Latino women in a room. I was like, what are they doing with this? And yeah, it really sets the stage for a competition later. But yeah, so she goes home, J-Lo, and finds out. This is where Dilly like confesses to everything that he's done. And he says, first of all, the amount of work he's done, worth $2,000 minimum.
Whoa.
Creating this new identity, creating a Wix site, creating a resume. You can monetize the shit out of this.
Yeah.
But he basically shows her all of this and goes, it's so tight, the FBI couldn't debunk this. So it's basically real.
Ugh.
Isn't that horrible? So that would explain why this man buys it. The boss, the new boss. What's his name? Whatever, it doesn't matter. Oh yeah, and does J-Lo move in with Leah Remini for like a night or two?
I guess so.
At this point? Because she like can't go back home to her house with that plant.
Right. Because she is, as she says in the interview, in between apartments.
She's in between apartments, yes. So, okay, where shall we go next?
Well, she leaves the interview assuming that because of Vanessa Ann Hudgens' stank energy, she's not going to get the job.
Oh, yes.
And it's not really much of an interview. She's there for about 5 minutes. And
he's very friendly.
She just sort of says that their products suck. And
yeah. He gives her the, you love saying, the boots on the ground story.
Yeah.
She's in the trenches.
She's in the trenches.
Giving them like the lowdown on their products. Oh, that would explain the stank energy. She's like, your skincare line kind of sucked. And Vanessa Hudgens was like, I made that, bitch.
Yeah, that's Vanessa Ann Hudgens'
line.
Baby child. But J-Lo gets the job as a consultant.
Yes, she does.
Which, for a consultant, I've never seen a consultant get
$1 million apartment.
An apartment, unlimited credit cards,
all the credit cards she needs,
a
stocked fridge
full of beer.
Leah Remini cracks
one open with her hand, and
wait, when Leah Remini goes, my son or whatever got kicked out of school the other day because he's cursing too much. She goes, what did he say? And he goes, he called the teacher a dunt. J-Lo goes, what's that? And Leah goes, a dumb. And J-Lo goes, oh.
Yeah.
So good.
It's funny though, because for the rest of the movie, like, Leah Remini won't curse. She'll just like modify the curse.
Yeah, she goes like frig.
Shite.
Yeah, it's such a fun little. It's sad that that's her whole arc, but it is.
It's pretty funny though, because every time she fake
funny.
Curses, it gets a laugh out of me.
Too good. So, I mean, I guess we can skip right to like a competition is born.
Right. So her first day on the job, which again, she seems to lie with abandon and seems
wild abandon.
Not disturbed in the least that she is there with no qualifications.
Nope. Good message though.
Good message.
Fake it till you make it.
Yeah, fake it till you make it. But
this is good for the working women out there.
A challenge is thrown down where
I was like, Solange.
There are going to be 2 teams who have what is it, 6 months or 3 months?
3 months.
3 months.
Half the time.
To come
up with a fully organic.
Vanessa Ann Hudgens' team is going to revise the current organic skincare, while Jennifer Lopez decides that she is going to create a new
from the ground up
fully organic product in 3 months. Something she has tons of experience in.
So much experience. She knows what the people want though, and they want an all-in-one product.
And I did find the messaging here to be a little problematic in today's day and age. Which we're living in an age right now where it's like everyone feels like they have the right to be a scientist. And everyone's their own chemist.
You're saying.
And
their own doctor.
Right, their own doctor. So I did think it was a little... It slaps a little differently in today's day and age, this idea that anybody can be a doctor. Seemed a little weird.
I mean, they have the company chemist. He's the lowest in the rankings, and he's a cat person.
Right. They cut to this guy who's doing animal testing, and he's the only one who's willing to work with Jennifer Lopez, because all the other chemists for the company are going to work with Vanessa Ann Hudgens because she's Well,
Zoe.
we're led to believe in a funny scene that she's hooking up with the old man. But then
What? Her dad?
well, remember when they go into the big meeting and then he comes and puts his hands on her shoulder?
Oh, and
And
everyone
Jennifer
like,
Lopez
what?
is like, he looks like he's old enough to be her. And then that like kind of like curt blondly, he's like, father. And we're all like,
yes.
oh, phew. Like
they did keep that ambiguous for a little too long.
They kept it ambiguous because in the initial meeting, her interview meeting,
yeah, you don't find that out.
You don't find that out.
Yeah, it's almost like it was planned.
Almost like it was planned. But no. Rest assured, father-daughter.
Father-daughter, thank God.
Thank God.
Yeah, so the fun and games section begins. It's a competition for the ages. This is kind of the most monster-in-law we ever get.
Right.
They're going to just do a series of funnies. They're going to do the rowing because she rowed for Harvard or whatever.
Okay. That scene was really funny.
So funny. Cut to just them flip. I love that it didn't drag a second longer than it needed to drag. No. They just flip in the water.
No.
Love that.
Yeah, they didn't even, it was one of those great scenes because like they didn't even really need to show us the boat crash, which made it funnier. But then they do cut back and they show us the footage of J-Lo ramming the boat.
They didn't need to show us, but cutting to just them dripping on the shore was very funny.
Very funny.
And the boss is such a good boss. He doesn't care. He thinks he's like, that was hilarious. I hope we got it on tape.
Right.
And then the speaking Mandarin.
Oh, so funny.
That is like an age-old thing. That's since the dawn of time.
Yeah.
We've been doing those like earpiece translations, but like he can't just be full attention on Jennifer Lopez's life. He's got to also have his attention on milking anal glands of a dog.
Yeah.
While he's translating for her in her ear.
It's like we do these scenes of Jennifer Lopez essentially doing like a variety show of different comedy. She's like, you want physical comedy? Here. You want
Here you go.
You want like misplaced language comedy? Here. It's wonderful.
Yeah, and Leah Remini before she before like the night before when J-Lo's like freaking out, she's like, I don't know Chinese. Leah Remini goes, do a lot of nodding. Men don't listen to us anyway.
Yeah. I actually thought that's a really good idea.
Yes. I was like, she could get away with all of it. But yeah, it's a little ridiculous that her translator or the man she's hired to be her translator is like sticking his finger in a dog's butt at the same time as he's helping her. Right. But I mean,
it is
for the sake of our movie.
It's a comedy movie, Chanel, okay?
It's a
comedy.
It's a comedy.
And interspliced between these comedy scenes of Jennifer Lopez at work is also her trying to wrap her head around how she's going to develop a new product in 3 months.
Fully organic.
And she poses a really simple question, which was, how do we get rid of all the chemicals in the products but still make it work? Seems like a really simple ask for...
It's a good question.
For 3 months.
How do we get rid of all the chemicals but still make it work?
Still make it work.
Wow. Whew. You'd think she devoted her life to that work.
There are some support. The supporting office characters make me uncomfortable.
Yeah, they're quirky. Yeah, okay, so what you were uncomfortable with the chemist and
that romance
Ariana.
The romance between
Ariana.
Those two characters in the office just didn't land for me.
Yeah, once again, I think this movie just felt like they needed it. They're like, we need this to make it satisfying. I didn't need it.
Right. And like,
don't need it.
Only upon their first meeting, they lay it on so thick that these two characters are going to fall in love that there was almost no suspense or like there was no reason to get invested in their relationship because you just knew that they were going to end up together.
Yeah. At the party when she's like, I'm kinky. He's like, what? Yeah, I didn't need them. Didn't need them at all. But, okay, so I think we're almost at the big reveal, though.
We are, because...
Where?
Vanessa Ann Hudgens and Jennifer Lopez, despite being in a competition, they're becoming friends.
They're getting
close. They're getting super close because... Lady bonding in the office.
Yeah, she's like, come by the apartment later. I have some stuff to show you. And then we get this really cryptic meeting of Vanessa Ann Hutchins and her dad in the office. He's like, come here, I have to show you something. And he hands her a file. And this is truly when I like leaned in and I was like, what is in this file?
And you could lean in as close as you want, but there's no sound.
No sound. It's just like a down the hallway shot.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, he's going to show her that she's a big fat liar.
Right.
Like, this is what's in the file,
right.
that all the lies are going to spill out.
Absolutely.
And we go to the apartment,
Mm-hmm.
and they're hanging out together, bonding over Vanessa Hudgens' like rich upbringing.
Right.
Bonding. And Vanessa Hudgens is like, I was adopted. And I was like, no.
Now, we should also mention that in a scene before, we found out that Jennifer Lopez gave up a daughter for adoption. And then Milo...
I'm doing a bad job with the setups today.
Milo, whatever, finds that out, he breaks up with her because she lies to him about it.
Oh, no, he doesn't know about the daughter at this point, though, does he? He finds out like way later at like Leah Remini's birthday.
No, he knows that before.
Right?
He was like, we want different things and you're lying to me.
Yeah.
Anyway, continue.
I do remember that though. He was like, because he sets the scene for the second half of the movie message, which is a relationship can't be formed on the basis of a lie.
Right.
He like straight up says that. And then J-Lo requotes it later, recycles it for her apology.
Okay, continue.
But they're at the apartment, yeah, and we find out Vanessa Hudgens has been adopted. And it's such magic because at the exact same, I don't know if you felt this the first time you saw this, but the exact same time J-Lo is putting the pieces together, we're putting the pieces together.
Yeah.
And it is
so rare for that to happen.
So good. They did a really good job burying that lead. So I started flipping out. I was like, no. I was going insane. And I could only imagine what being in a crowded theater of J-Lo heads.
I remember
like,
really
what that would have
being
been like.
Shaken to my core.
Yes.
Because you're right. It's one of those rare movie surprises where you are figuring it out in the same time that the movie star is figuring it out.
It is rare. It's very rare that they can successfully bury it.
Because you're right that you assume, or the only logical assumption that you could have is that the information that her dad gave her was that J-Lo was a big fat liar.
Yes, that's exactly what I thought. So I took that ride and it was glorious. It was so good. I was flipping out. I videotaped myself flipping out.
Here's what's confusing,
for viewers. Oh yeah, let's poke holes in it now.
Here's what's confusing. How did he know that was her mom?
I know.
Okay, I have a few questions. How did he know that Jennifer Lopez, this woman, was her mom? Number two,
especially with that fake identity.
When did he know? And number three, did he hire her because he knew that it was her mom?
Yes. Yeah, these are all the questions I had immediately after. Like, okay, so he vets her just enough to know this is my daughter's birth mom.
So he knew that before he hired her?
I think, but he doesn't vet her enough to know that the Facebook is fake. She didn't go to Harvard.
Right.
She didn't climb Kilimanjaro. She doesn't know Mandarin. Like,
it's like, this is a woman who is...
So he found her fake identity.
White. Maybe she's my adopted daughter's mom. Let me check.
It's just confusing because you would assume all of his research in bringing her in was pulled from faked documents, right?
Right.
Fake resume, fake everything. So how are you drawing a fake to was Dilly so good at his job that he made it
only
seamless?
Logical explanation that I could arrive at is that when they adopted Vanessa Ann Hudgens, they knew the name of the birth mom.
Yeah, he has a name to go by for certain.
I assume that they matched up the name. But
yeah,
to your point, to not check anything else about her background,
but just
she has a pretty generic name. Her name isn't Milo Ventimiglia. Like, her name is
it's like Maya Vargas or something.
Which is sounds like a pretty common name.
It's just confusing the timeline too. Like, okay, so Dilly makes all this stuff overnight, gives her the assuming Leah Remini puts her name in for this interview in less than a week.
Right.
Did he do all of his birth mom research in that 1 week that she switched her identity to someone who went to Harvard? That was like also confusing.
Right, because what the movie also seems to be implying is that
they want you to look the other way, though.
He chose to tell Vanessa Ann Hudgens then. So it's like, did he, and this is like weeks or maybe even a month or two after she's been working there.
He makes a comment like later, like, I wanted to call you in, I wanted to meet you, and I had to check. Like, I had to see.
Right. So he
makes that comment that he was like waiting.
He's almost like, I knew by watching you at work that you must be her mom. But I'm like, you've never met her before. Yeah.
Wait, am I so off in thinking that Leah Remini's son submitted her for that interview? Maybe the boss sought her out and was like, I want to check her. I want to get her in. I want to see if she's my daughter's birth mom. So he seeks her out. Is that true? Maybe I'm lying and saying that her friend submitted her.
I think that is what's even more strange about it. Because if what would have made more sense is what you're saying, which is that like Jennifer Lopez got press because of what she did for this store, and then they reached out to to try to recruit her to bring her in. But what the movie is implying, or not implying, what they're telling us is that no, she just applied for.
Yeah.
But then what's strange, right, is that when she calls the company before the interview, no one can tell her what the interview is for. And then when she gets there, I know, it's all too perfect. It's like they're setting up for a parade. Like everybody is in on it. The security, they're like, oh,
your interview's upstairs.
Go.
She's here.
The secretary's like, we've been expecting you. So it's like, it's strange.
Recover.
You're right, though. It would have made more sense if Dilly Bar did not submit her for the application.
I think Dilly probably didn't submit her. Does that make any sense? Then why would he have done all that work?
And I think we should just go with that because I think that's that's the better movie.
That the father sought Maya out and was like, get her in here.
You know how like you can make a LinkedIn profile and then people can reach out to you if they're interested in your resume. I think we need to go with that because if she applied for it, that doesn't make any sense because you would then apply for a job. And we know that Jennifer Lopez and her inner circle's understandings about how hiring practices work are pretty shoddy at best. So they probably wouldn't know to apply for the job or apply how that works.
Wow. So I went this whole time assuming Dilly submitted her, but no, I think, yes.
Well, that is what the movie wants to lead us to believe. Yeah. But it's wrong.
No, she was sought out because the father, Mr. Whatever, was doing some research.
Right.
And he was like, oh, I think this is her. And he called her in. And I guess it was just like icing on the cake that she was so successful too. And like totally qualified for the position as well.
But like, why now?
So that's, I don't fucking know.
Okay, got it. I don't get it, but I got it.
I don't get it, but I got it. The reveal was really sweet though. I definitely was there. I took the ride. The emotion was there. Definitely can see where J-Lo hop, skipped, and jumped over to Hustlers from here. Just too good.
It was sweet, and I think like without it, the Vanessa Ann Hudgens character, you were just like sliding down the path of hating her more and more every second. So she's really lucky that there was this twist because she would have been really hated. But
I think it helps flip the feminism of it all too, though. Like it went from a competition between two women to like, oh my God, like you're my birth mom,
competing.
Mother, daughter. Now they're kind of helping each other. And it is a friendly competition, but only because it's capitalism, my friends, and we got to make money, not because they hate each other now.
Right.
So you're right.
Even if both the women are successful in in the competition, that's still good for the company because that's just more products for them to sell.
More products, exactly.
And you're right. So they have to continue the competition. And Jennifer Lopez has this brilliant idea that instead of making a line of skincare products, she's just going to make
just one
product that does everything.
Let's slice our work in ninths.
Which is there anything more useless than like a 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner? It's like if I'm ever in the grocery store or whatever and I see somebody with a 2-in-1 shampoo conditioner in their cart, I'm like,
oh, sweetie.
Yeah, what are you doing? Like, they don't work. And as Rob or Ron, whatever, the like kind of douchey guy in the office says, like,
oh yeah, Ron the asshole.
He does make a good point though, where he's like, isn't the point to make more money?
More money.
Which I was like, correct.
Yeah, it's correct. She's like, we use one bar of soap for our whole bodies, but we divide our face. And he's like, yeah, what's confusing?
I was like, Jennifer Lopez, have you ever washed your face? Like, yes, we use different products for different parts of our face.
And then like the medium delivering all this information is perfect Jennifer Lopez, who has probably a cream for every section of her face.
Yeah, I was like, girl, you have an eye cream and different face masks and different facial washes,
Imagine
and different oils and serums and moisturizers. Exactly. You're not using a bar of soap for your face.
Imagine for research, JLo just switched to Ivory for like everything for this
Ivory soap. Why is my face so dry?
So hard. So drying. Yeah, so it's too funny, the all-in-one product. The only person who could use a 2-in-1 product for their hair is like literally someone with a buzz cut like yours, I think, because it's like doesn't matter.
Yeah, then you're just cleaning your head, it would work.
Fine.
But if you need like your hair texture to like look presentable, don't do that. Use a 2-in-1.
Don't get the Suave 2-in-1.
Honestly, just use shampoo. Because it'll be better for you than a 2-in-1. Or even, I mean, anyway. So that's her brilliant idea. And
we do get a cute little Christmas montage. We get the really sweet bridge scene with her and Vanessa Hudgens where she's like, I gave you up. It's just like sad and cute.
That was a sad scene where she showed where she did the baby handoff. And
yeah.
It was a good spot. Tender. I mean, if you're going to do a handoff, that's a really good spot.
Do it in one of the most cinematic locations in all of Manhattan.
Yeah, you just better hope that bench is free that day. Otherwise you're going to have to stand.
Also, the amount of winter exteriors in this made me die because it was fucking freezing.
Yes.
Their breath is
especially
showing.
Like
and they're in very
on the river,
fashionable coats.
On the river with like the wind whipping in your face. I was like, I've been there. And it's really uncomfortable. Your ears
I know they had
stinging.
to ADR all that sound in later because there's no shot that makes.
Yeah, it's winter time. It's freezing. So, company Christmas party. I guess they're a few weeks till the end of the competition. I guess it'll end on the new year or something like that. Mm-hmm. And Vanessa Ann Hudgens and her team of scientists are cheersing to celebrate that they've finished their organic product or more organic product.
7% more organic product.
And Jennifer Lopez, the consultant, she's got nothing. But she does get divine inspiration at the party. And I'm going to hold up my notes to you because I made a flow chart of her logic, which
let's hear it. Talk us through it.
Okay.
Because this subway reveal.
There's a lot that goes on at the party, but like we can't even dive into it because 90% of it is irrelevant. But the 10% that matters is this. Jennifer Lopez does a very sexy tango dance with one of her
It's so hot.
with one of her coworkers.
It's so hot.
She has her Dancing with the Stars moment, and she's like flipping around the dance floor, kind of tangoing, flirting with the devil, because one of her coworkers he's like, I'm about to reveal that you're a fraud.
Yeah.
And
so she yanks him away.
She dips in whatever. And he makes the unfortunate mistake of calling her a disaster, which was all the inspiration she needs, because when she hears the word disaster, she runs out of the party and grabs that dopey scientist. And then they sit on the train.
The teen scientist.
And she flows from disaster
this was wild
to famous disasters to...
Which one are we talking about here?
Good question. Hiroshima.
Hiroshima.
Oh my God. When she said Hiroshima, again, I've seen the movie before. I did not remember this. I was like,
I would have spit whatever was in my mouth
out. Stop. And then she goes, silver ginkgo tree plants. Why? Why did they have to bring Hiroshima?
They did not.
This movie?
It was so weird. Like, they're talking about disasters in a very, like, colloquial way on the subway, very everyday. And he's like, and then almost like a script told him to say, what disaster are we talking about here? And she goes, Hiroshima.
But
what?
To invoke
that
Hiroshima only to say that essentially what they were saying was that, like, thank God that Hiroshima happened because we learned that this plant survives.
It's great.
She was like, yeah, like after Hiroshima, there was a lot of destruction, but there was this one tree that grew back in a month. And the scientist was like, you mean regenerated? And she was
God.
She was like, yeah. She was like, it absorbed the radiation. And the scientist was like the sun?
AKA sunlight.
The sun? So
it was so weird because during that whole tango, she puts up a really fun nature nurture argument. And she's like, I believe you're more nurture. And he's like, what do you mean? And she's like, assholes are made, not born. And then she goes, Ron, how did you become an asshole? Which this whole thing could have been perfect. She could have remembered nurture. She could have remembered her upbringing. She could have remembered Abuela. And then she could have been like Abuela's tree.
Right.
And the story could have just been internal dialogue about Hiroshima. She just could have been like, yeah, Grandma, Nana told me about that story one time. Let's go home and get the tree.
We have this tree that has survived for generations.
Yeah, generations in my family. She told me the story once. In the midst of radiation, it bloomed again. The reveal on this was so bizarre. I could only think maybe they thought it was funnier, which is shocking.
Yeah, to use Hiroshima as a stepping stone just felt
as a lily pad
lily pad to get to an all-in-one skincare product was a jump, a path I've never gone down before.
It was a lot.
And in the same way that it was shocking to hear like the invocation of Nixon in the past movies, hearing in such a casual manner, hearing the casualness that not only did she pick up Hiroshima, but then drops it as if like we only needed it
like
for a brainstorm was bizarre.
Crazy.
And luckily, like she said, her grandfather had tree clippings and then planted a tree, and she's able to siphon all of the leaves from her grandfather's tree.
Yeah, she's able to go back home, break into her home.
Why?
Get her tree. That was weird too. I'm like, did she just give her boyfriend the house?
Why did she have to break in?
Yeah, that was so weird. But she gets the tree, and they planted that seed pretty early on in the movie. She rubs the leaf for good luck, and she's like, well, I need you today for the day of her fake interview. I remember
in the first scene.
The day of her non-interview. She's like, I really need you today.
Imagine every day at work when you had to like do a presentation. In your mind, you thought, I'm going to get a promotion. What a life of
Today's
disappointment.
Poor woman.
Yeah.
It's clunky. I'd like to know how fast they wrote this screenplay, because my hunch is it was like 30 days. Real fast.
Well, it has, the first half of the movie feels very different from the half that we're in now. So it also has the feeling like two people were walking down the hallway with two different scripts, and then they both tripped,
collided,
and then they like shuffled the papers together.
Yeah, tonally it's very different in the second half. It tries to like take itself a little more seriously, which I like, and the whole adoption element makes it tender and nice.
But it has less Leah Remini at this point, and it just it lacks some of the humor of like the first 45 minutes. I still love it, but it feels now it's J-Lo the scientist, and you know.
The new mom.
Amateur Hiroshima expert.
Yeah. The tone is different in the second half, but ultimately it feels like a nice surprise because you think you're just getting this fluffy rom-com, and it's not, which is so nice. I love that surprise of the flipping tone.
Yeah.
But it's a little jarring.
Right.
So, okay. Presentation time.
So this is bizarre because I know that like when Apple is going to release a new iPhone, there's the option for you to, I guess, live stream it on their website. And I'm sure if you're a nerd, you watch it.
You do. Yeah, you do.
This product demonstration was live streamed for the world.
From a park.
Yeah, but everybody could watch it.
I was wondering about that.
Oh, wait, those are two different things, right?
They're two different moments. I don't think the presentation was live streamed.
Launch. This is different.
This is You're right. The launch was live streamed apparently, or allegedly.
Oh, right. I skipped ahead.
Maybe it was just internal television, maybe just like in the
closed
stores.
Circuit TV.
Yeah. That's what I thought it was, because Leah Remini's like, oh, my baby. But okay, we're getting ahead of ourselves. So this is just the reveal where Vanessa Hudgens' team reveals that they've made two very complete looking lines with tons of products.
Yeah.
And they're going to like...
Which was the assignment.
Which was the assignment. And it looks amazing. The packaging looks gorgeous. And she's finishing up. And then J-Lo is like, we're moving our presentation outside. For one product. It was so wild. So then they're in the middle of Central Park in front of a ginkgo tree, and there's somehow a TV screen out there, which is leading me to believe
she could have screen printed an image onto a poster board.
She could just tack up a little paper.
That would have been enough.
But like, it's leading me to believe that they planned it all along. So like, maybe her teammates were out there setting up.
Oh yeah, there was a little pre-setup.
There was a setup. The whole office is out there shivering, just freezing.
Yeah, no one wants to be there.
She reveals their product called like One
something,
right? And it's just one lotion that is also a sunscreen. So they made sunscreen. They made sunscreen. Am I wrong?
They invented sunscreen.
J-Lo invented sunscreen in this film.
Right.
Holy fucking...
And then a bird dies?
And then they're like, this product is going to take off. And then they launch some doves into the air, which I think are just white pigeons. Yeah. And then they get hit by a truck. It's too
fun,
good.
because as we've seen, animal testing is a funny trope in this movie.
Yeah, it's agreed upon and encouraged. Yeah. Even for just like the splendor of the presentation, they release the doves, hits, boom, another one of those funny hard cuts to the next scene.
Right.
Which is, I like that. We get out quick in this movie. They don't make us linger in the aftermath.
No, it's the perfect length for a movie. It's not too long.
Yeah, perfect. I'm obsessed. Yeah, I mean, all I had to say was that product looks like shit.
It looks like shit, and it's also just, there's nothing novel about the product. We have organic sunscreen and organic face moisturizer is a thing. So
I know. I feel like she wasted her time.
Right.
We have that
and
already.
And now that tree is dead. So
your grandma's tree is gone.
I don't know how they're going to make more.
Maybe it'll sprout new leaves, because I think it does, because she gives the plant to Milo at the end.
Oh, okay.
Just suddenly has leaves again. It was wild, but I understood the messaging and the point. It was like, these people who are shopping at the store
and by the
are
way,
these 2-in-1 folk.
By the way, I love drugstore skincare.
Yeah.
So like, I
same.
just pray that this is not how it is developed.
Don't waste your
I
time.
really hope
Take less.
that my drugstore skincare is not made like this, because that is concerning.
It is concerning. I'm just like, it's a waste of resources.
Yeah.
I'm going to buy it anyway.
That's right.
It's cheaper.
Yeah.
It's cheap.
Just put the chemicals in it.
But they agree that she wins, which we know has to happen.
Right.
Which I'm like, how? I mean, Vanessa Hudgens products look amazing.
Yeah, they probably work.
There's 16 of them.
Yeah.
There's so many products that you can push. But, you know, the messaging of this movie is like, the people that are shopping in Ozone Park want the 2-in-1 sunscreen that doesn't exist anywhere else but here.
Right.
I guess. So she wins, and then they're like, you're going to give a speech at like the summit or whatever, at the launch, the product launch, which we just mentioned before.
Right.
And I was like, really? Her? Okay.
But also, and then, like, is there no clinical testing? Is there no like review period where we have to put this on someone's face to make sure?
I know.
They just did a smell test and they put it in like.
They said great.
Right. They were like, this smells good now, and it looks like a cream.
Oh, you're bringing up like, it's minor, but they could have just put like a little thing on the screen like 18 months later. 18 months in clinical trials later.
Like, we got the approval.
She's on stage. Yeah. We needed an approval scene.
Yeah, we needed an approval scene. But
well, they think we're big old idiots in this movie, don't they?
Right. And that's, well, they do and they don't, because they're sending mixed messages about the consumer.
Mixed signals.
J-Lo is sending the idea that the consumer is getting smarter and smarter. And Ron correctly says, all that consumers want is the illusion of choice. So it's like,
he's the prophet in this movie.
Yeah. I mean, he's the villain, but sometimes the villain is the prophet.
Yeah, he says he got her to disaster real quick. We need Ron.
Yeah, she does. She does actually need Ron.
She needs Ron. So he's necessary. Talk about necessary men in this.
Yeah. Which is what the movie should be called. No, I'm just kidding.
Ron.
Necessary men.
Necessary men. We can workshop a new title. Basically, this presentation, it employs one of my least favorite things in all of Hollywood, which is a public apology. Ugh. It makes almost no sense. Also, it completely undercuts the integrity of the product. If you want people to buy your product, you don't start with every lie. Like, you don't start with like this lie that got you there and then be like, but the product is not a lie. And then she calls up her coworkers to come take over the presentation. I'm like, this is so weird.
Yeah, I think like the rule with apologies, which is something that I feel like really famous people don't have to do a whole lot, is that like you really only should be apologizing to the people that you've offended. Like,
yeah,
it actually makes your apology worse, and it makes you look like a bit of a coward if you're going to apologize to a room of 100 people when you only lied to 2 people in the room. Like, that to me seems easier. Like, if I lied to somebody like gravely, I would rather get up in front of 100 people and confess my lie than just
guess I'm
look
sorry
at somebody eye to eye and be like, I lied to you.
To you.
But yet we're supposed to believe that she's really brave because she's
doing it public.
She's doing it publicly, but I don't think that's really how lies work.
Yeah, I don't understand the spectacle of it all. Like, maybe the screenwriters wanted everyone to find out all at once. So, like you said, it's literally streaming everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, it does
at least
work
internally.
In that case, but like all those other people knew she was lying.
Yeah, like Leah Remini is like clutching her chest as she's like saying, the real me is like Queen's Maya. And Leah Remini's like glistening behind the eyes. And she's like, that's my baby up there. And it works for those reaction shots. Right. But I just don't understand a public apology.
As a
it's
plot
just
point,
weird.
It works, but as like on an emotional level, it doesn't work. And if I was Vanessa Ann Hudgens, I would be pissed.
She was. She was mad.
She was mad, but I was like, good.
She was big mad. Yeah, that made sense. But I just didn't like the messaging of, I'm a liar.
Right.
But this product is not a lie. Come on up.
Yeah, come slather this on your face.
So it's just like, I don't think that would work at all. They'd be like, I'm not buying that product. She's a liar.
No. I would have not that I wanted to hear it again, but like she should have led with Hiroshima, because that would have been at least we
Tell
know
the story
that
of the
that's
tree.
true. So like,
yeah. Yeah, I guess they also kind of employ the idea that the lie always has to come out in a big way. It can never be a small. Like you said, between two people, it's not max drama. But if like 100 people know she's a liar, max drama.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
But like the right way to handle the lie was like the way that Vanessa Ann Hudgens' dad in the movie handles the lie, which is he pulls the two of them, sits them down together and apologizes for holding on to the information and like saying that like he wasn't trying to hurt anybody. He just like
wait, did he know, the dad, that she was a faker?
No, about how he knew that she was the birth mom,
the birth mother,
and he held the information, but he didn't hold a press conference to tell the whole company.
Yeah. He's like, you might see them butting heads a lot, but it's just because they're mother and daughter.
Yeah.
She gave her adoption. Yeah. Oh, God. So Vanessa's like rightfully pissed, and then some time elapses. Is elapses a word? Lapses.
Right. Like what, a year
time
or two?
Lapses. What?
Yeah, like a year or two passes.
Yeah, Vanessa goes away because, like, apparently she's like a great artist, which those prints were beautiful in the apartment. Right. And she goes to London,
she's an artiste. Foreshadowed
by her wearing of the beret in many inappropriate scenes. She's just wearing a beret.
Right.
So.
She has the art bug.
She has the art bug. J-Lo kind of goes back to her life. It seems like she moves in with Leah Remini again. Moves out of that big old apartment. And then, blah, 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 she reconciles with Milo Ventimiglia, which we're like, okay, fine.
Whatever.
And then, yes to all. Yes to every question. That was her makeup with him.
Well, she does something stupid. She's like, he's like, will you ever lie to me again? And she's like, yes.
Yes.
But that was the last time. And I was like,
what?
Like, carry the one. I was like, what?
Me too. I did some long division in my head.
That was not whatever.
So, will you ever lie to me again? Yes. But that was the last time. So the yes was a lie. So the answer is no. I don't.
If I was him, I would have been like,
promise I'm never going to lie.
You know what? I'm good.
So, yeah, I don't want anyone to hold me to that. You swear you'll never lie to me again. Like, no, I'm going to lie to you all the time when it's convenient for me and you.
For me, and I feel like it's in our best interest.
Yeah, I'm going to lie. It's kinder. It makes no sense why I wouldn't lie to you.
If we all walked around telling people the truth.
The truth? Oh, my goodness.
Bad.
I don't want to live in that world at all. So, yeah, and then the last person she has to make up with is Vanessa Hudgens. Vanessa's doing her, like, usual run in Battery Park?
Somewhere. She's back. She completed her degree in pottery, whatever.
Yeah, and like J-Lo is like in her best running gear, almost like she knew they were going to go running. Was like, oh my gosh, you're back. Your dad told me you're back. Blah, blah, blah. And then Vanessa Hudgens, very stone cold, just like, I was going to go for a run. But would you like to come with me?
And J-Lo's like,
yes! Yeah, J-Lo's like, yes, I do want to come. And then Vanessa goes, I'm not going to go easy on you this time. And J-Lo goes, bring it, sister.
And then she trips her. No.
That'd be so funny if they did. And then there's the car full of best friends, which I feel so bad not even mentioning the other best friends. They're so funny, all of them.
They were fun. They did a nice push it dance scene.
Yeah, the push it dance scene was phenomenal.
They walked in on them at a dinner one time and did some funny scenes.
Save the whales. Save the whales. And then Leah Remini goes, she killed it in rehearsals. So funny.
We went in the car together at Wharton.
Yeah. They're in the car and they're watching them two make up, the mother-daughter couple make up. And then the son, they're all like crying. And then the little boy goes, you guys are all such pussies. Oh.
Yeah.
It was very funny.
It is.
You guys are frickin' pussies, he says. And Leah goes, what? He said frickin'.
Yeah.
Perfect ending.
Yeah, the friend work, it does end, and it ends like not a moment too soon and not a moment too late. It ends right where it needs to end.
Yep.
And as those two run off, my favorite song of all time starts playing again.
And that is
Limitless.
Limitless.
So good.
I didn't even know that was her.
What?
Singing. I know. I'm not super familiar with Limitless. I saw her and her daughter do it on stage once, and it's really cute. But yeah, but I wasn't even. You made me aware that was Limitless.
I think it's better than Shallow, and it should. It should be like Academy Award for Best Song.
That's the poll I want. Shallow or Limitless? Wow, that's
if your
intense.
team's Shallow,
get out.
Get out.
In the shallow. And then I just want to point out that there's an ending voiceover that goes over many scenes. And the last thing spoken is, the only thing stopping you is you.
Yeah, the only thing I don't like about the voiceover is that they have to like lower the volume of the song. And
yeah, that's what I didn't like either.
Finally, when we cut to the credits, I was like, now we can turn up the song. Yeah. I can't say that. And that's the ending. And it's like,
that's it, guys.
It's like it was like the perfect movie. I think someone's hammering
perfect movie.
Me.
I had so much fun. I worry that I probably say that too much on this podcast. I should probably stop. But 10 out of 10 in terms of experiences, in terms of like watching and enjoying. That was the perfect experience, because I think movies are experiences.
Especially out of all the movies that we've talked about so far, this was one that, and I know we say we recommend all of them, like I really recommend this movie. It's
you have to see this one.
It's like so fun. It's like, and even if you're not like a total JLo head like us, like you will be after you see this. Her like magnetic charm it's magnetic, out of control.
Her and Leah Remini, just, all of it is super magnetic. And I almost want to we should probably put a spoiler warning in the caption, because I want people to see this before listening to this episode, because I don't want it spoiled for them. That reveal was too much fun.
Right. And you're right. It does have something rare for a star vehicle, which is a genuine twist. Like most of these star vehicles, twist. The plot is laid out in such a straight line that you can see the end zone when you're standing on the starting line, but the twist is a genuine twist. So watch it before you listen. But if you're here getting to the warning, that's also I think it's too late.
We'll put it in the episode description.
Yeah,
I think.
You're right. Warning.
This warning. Review contains major spoilers.
Yeah, and if you don't know how to read, sorry,
help you.
But
we can't help you. The reveal is too good. You're so right about most star vehicles being so mapped out for you, and that's how this reveal was able to really get you, because you think it's going to be all about this lie spilling out,
right?
And they take a sharp left.
Yeah, it's that and something else.
It was awesome. I did look up one fact, which I think you'll be excited about. Julia Roberts.
Do this, though, it's always two truths and a lie. Because sometimes you make these
because I might be lying.
But go ahead.
Fuck you. I looked this up. It was on IMDb. I mean, if we trust IMDb. Julia Roberts was attached to this movie. For a while. She was going to be the lead.
Whoa.
And then it became J-Lo. Isn't that cool?
Wow.
I'm so into that. I'm so into just thinking about that.
This would be a funny movie that if they kept the script the same. Well, maybe not. They kept the general idea the same and just rotated different movie stars in. And it would just let
really
them do
change.
The movie again.
Oh, I would love that. That is the experiment.
Kind of edited it a little bit to make sense for who the movie star is. So in the sense that this was in Queens, we'd have to shift things up a little bit for Julia Roberts. Maybe something in maybe hers could be in California, and she gets a job working in a boutique in Beverly Hills as a
big mistake.
Yeah, huge. So, or an attorney like Aaron Brockovich style.
All right, I think we did it. I have nothing more to say on second act. Second act of many.
We're not done with J-Lo, I'm sure, but
we're definitely not done, but we'll shelve it for just a tad. And Put her on the shelf
We'll be back with
Value
maybe
Mart
another J-Lo
101.
movie, but probably someone different. But we'll see.
Stick around. You're going to want to stick around.
Maybe a man at some point.
No. I draw the line there. I'm done. All right. I'm good to say bye, y'all. Bye.